Hi everyone, I'm Ava and I'm an American living in the Netherlands, and I am currently camping on one of the Dutch islands known as the Waddeneilanden, and I am having such a Dutch experience. It's totally different from any of the short holidays that I'm used to taking back in the US, so I thought I really just have to pull out my camera so that I can tell you about it. Okay, first off, I am at a campsite. If you can see, I'm at a campground. There are various tents behind me. Now, the thing that I find is that in the US, camping is of course a thing. People like to camp everywhere. But one thing that I've noticed is that I think you have to be a certain person to go camping in the US, like maybe like the outdoorsy type or something. But here I just find that all sorts of people like to go camping as a way of having a nice, more affordable holiday. And I guess I am one of those people because I would never go camping in the US. I might have mentioned this in a couple of videos previously of mine where I would just never do this in the US, but it's just such a part of the culture here. Plus my girlfriend loves to camp, so here I am. You may also see that it is extremely windy. This isn't even the half of it. It has been so windy this whole time. But apparently that's not a problem. Also, I'm wearing this like wind jacket, this thick jacket, and that is also not a problem. It has also been raining. I found the one moment today that when it's not raining. Here I am. It's kind of dry the second. And you know, Dutch people like to say like, oh, you're not made of sugar, don't worry about the rain. Okay, but like what about the wind, the cold, and all the other stuff? All right, so I immediately wanted to point out a few things that I noticed or experienced differently than I normally would. One is the intense focus around bikes. When you arrive on a Dutch island, there is the opportunity to rent a bike right away, right when you get off the ferry. And I'm sure there are bike rental places in other countries and cultures as well. But I haven't seen anything like it here. You can literally just rent a bike and you can arrange it so that your luggage will arrive at the campsite. And so many people do this. There's boatloads of people doing exactly the same thing. And everywhere on the island, everyone is biking. It's very much bike focused. There are lots of bike paths everywhere. And we're talking about an island, right? Like the island I'm on is the smallest inhabited Dutch island. It's called dutchamericanonl, and it has about 900 to 1,000 people, depending on how you count it. I think even as low as 800 that live here permanently. But yeah, there's just bike paths everywhere. People are just biking. Okay, so 2 years ago, I couldn't ride a bike at all. Okay, not at all, but not properly. And right now, I am biking and vlogging. Like, I never thought I'd be able to do that. So this is pretty cool. So 2 years ago, when I was on Terschelling, that's actually when I learned how to bike properly, like become more comfortable, because you just had to bike so much on the island. The other thing is, this island is kind of gorgeous. I will show you more clips throughout the day today. But yeah, there's just amazing types of birds everywhere. Even on this campsite, there are pheasants. I'd never seen a pheasant in my life, and they're just walking around the island, not afraid of people at all. Okay, just as I was telling you about the pheasants, I spotted one. I'm going to see if we can get close enough. It's behind this tree. Do you see it? Look how cool. Gorgeous creature. Hey. Oh my god, I don't want to scare it, but like, it doesn't seem that scared of me. Look at that. Now, the other thing that I've noticed is that this campsite, just like the other campsites that I've experienced on the Dutch island, I've been to Terschelling as well, and this campsite is extremely kid-friendly, and there are families everywhere. See these tents behind me? They're mostly full of families. Very few just couples or people without kids on this campsite. So there are a lot of kid-focused activities. So what am I doing here? It's because I'm a big baby, of course. No, it's just, I think there are also non-families here without their kids. But I am definitely impressed by how many kid facilities there are here. So I'll show you the midget golf and the slide because I just think it's so interesting. And then of course, because there is this like family vibe for the holidays, and also because this island and this type of vacationing maybe is very family oriented, I also find that people are extremely nice to each other and friendly. Like back in Utrecht, I wouldn't really walk up on the street and say hi to people on the street. Maybe that's just me because I'm a New Yorker, but I don't think so. I don't see Dutch people going around saying hi to each other as well in Utrecht. But here, everyone just says hi to each other because, well, we're all here in this campsite looking the way people do when camping. I have to say, like, camping is never going to be my favorite holiday, but I am having a nice time. And I do like that people say hi to each other when you're biking past them or walking past them. Even here on the campground, as you're walking past people to go to the shower or use any of the facilities, the people just say hi. I don't know them, but we say hi. And of course, even though it's extremely cold, it's about 12 degrees and it's windy and the sun isn't really out, so I've been cold this whole time. But in spite of it, you know, we go to the beach. That's been a thing we do on this holiday. And you see all of these like big tents behind us. Our tent is the smallest on the campground. It's pretty funny. But no, we're just having a great time. I am sitting outside in this extremely windy weather. And it was so windy that yesterday we went to get snacks at this strandtent. Strandtenten are also a thing I haven't really seen too much of in the US. Over there you might see something like at Scheveningen you have all of these bars on the beach that you'll find in the US. But just these like cafes on the beach that are there because it's the beach, strandtenten, that's what they're called here. Yeah, we went to one of those and we wanted to just sit outside. It was freezing. It just wasn't raining, but it was windy as hell, and it was just cold. But we of course sat outside to have a beer and to eat some snacks. Okay, this is just what we do. I was sitting there like freezing. But the funniest thing was our snacks were like these blocks of cheeses, because we're in the Netherlands. I mean, don't ask. My girlfriend was like, that sounds great. Let's get cheese. Nothing else, just some cheese and mustard. And when we walked out of this bar that was sheltered because the bar where you could order was inside, and we literally just walked out, took one step to go to our seats outside, and I was holding, luckily my girlfriend was holding the drinks, but I had the tray and the paper plate full of cheese, so it was quite heavy, but it all literally just flew within a second. Just one step outside and it was like I was surrounded by a windstorm. So the person working there was just like, let me fix this, and he gave us this huge heavy ceramic bowl because that's how windy it was. But in spite of it being that windy, in spite of it being that cold, we sat outside, had a drink, had that good holiday feel, and we were at the beach. It's not the image that I have of myself on holiday at the beach, sitting with a coach, like very cold, having a drink, and you know, where my food just flew from my hands out into the world. But it was fun. So I am having a good time. It is completely different from what I would have ever imagined. If you were told me 5 years ago that I would consider this to be my idea of a holiday, I would have told you that that was never going to happen. Well, and here we are. Just as I was saying how the sun hasn't been out and it was raining and it was really windy and cold. Well, still windy and cold, but the sun is out and we're at the beach. And as you can see, we have the beach to ourselves. It's really beautiful. And I do enjoy this. But yeah, the wind is a bit much. It's still not what I would imagine when I think of myself at the beach, but it's not that bad. Hello. So island weather, as you can see, the clouds are here. Oh yeah, and I had to tie up my hair. The wind was kind of crazy, but look, it's about to rain. But luckily we are about to just go to a restaurant and get away from the rain.